Oh, dang it, there's a treasure chest at Bomb Island. Oh, wait, that's the one we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Dang it.
There we go. Okay, it's ordered. Finally.
How much was it?
You're fine.
How much was it?
You're fine. You're hosting.
I guess we're going north now.
Yeah. Oh, I mentally added this to the talking points list, but I was driving, so I didn't, because safe driving. I know you were familiar with Phantom of the Opera. We've discussed this in depth. Are you as familiar with Les Mis?
More so.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, I'm a very big Les Mis fan.
So I realized that I have, like, of course I have actual favorite moments of the show and, like, actual things that I love, but, like, two tiny little moments that are, like, these are my favorite, I at least partially made up. Because I saw it on Tuesday and I was like, where'd they go?
I mean, is it possible that they're exclusive to certain productions?
One of them, I think I just scrambled some lines in my head,
Okay.
and then the other, I think they just cut it off short.
Okay.
So the like, actual, like, ooh, that's a tasty bit of music that I love. It's like after Valjean gets out of the sewers and Javert's there and he's like, I'm gonna take you in for real this time.
Yeah.
Valjean sings a little, like, refrain of Look Down, and there's, like, a key change in there that's really good. And they didn't do it in this one.
Wait,
like,
they didn't?
No, he went, Look down, Javert, he's standing in his grave, and then Javert just cut him off. He's like, okay, fine.
That's the key change represents Javert changing his mind.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's musically, like, important to the plot.
No, he literally just sang the first one, and then they cut him off, and then Javert jumped off a bridge.
Well, I mean, okay. In the production I'm aware of, they sing over each other, but they're both still singing for a full 4 bars.
I just, because, like, that little key change always, like, punches me a little bit in the brain, and I love it, and I did not feel punched. So
because it's supposed to be, the key change is when Valjean goes,
Look down, Javert, he's standing in his way.
Make way,
Javert, there is a life to say.
Yes, that. In the version I know, they do sing over each other because Valjean goes, make way, and Javert goes, take him, Valjean. Like, those are supposed to be at the same time, but Valjean does keep singing. Like, that's important.
Rubbish.
And then Javert jumps off the bridge.
Yeah. No, it was... I want to keep this open so I can look at the pizza tracker. So, that didn't happen. I was highly disappointed. And then, you know, when they're at the barricades, every now and then there's like a loudspeaker. Where like, yo, the barricades, listen to this.
Yes, and I think we're in agreement.
You have no friends. That's not it. It goes, you're on your own, you have no friends.
Oh,
so they
yeah,
still
no,
say
okay.
it,
The rhythm is,
but
yeah.
there's not,
I
it's
do
not
remember
nothing
that. That
dramatic.
is true.
You have no friends. So I was like, if I ever am directing, I don't know, if I have any creative influence over Les Mis in my life, I'll be like, okay, we're swapping these 2 lines, you will not argue with me.
Worth it.
Yeah. But yeah, the production I saw on Tuesday was so good. Like, I don't usually cry it on my own. I'm like, oh, it's sad. But this Eponine was so good that I was just like, oh my god.
That's good. That's a really good sign. Because, yeah, I agree. There are many songs where, like, they're just so sad that it's like, oh, that's the sad song. Like, I watched Hamilton, and I didn't cry when I saw It's Quiet Uptown, because I was like, yep, that's the sad song, and that's where I'm supposed to feel sad. And, like, it just feels... It's inescapable. It's no one's fault for writing sad songs, but there's something that feels a little bit manufactured when you get to sad songs.
Yeah.
So when an actor does such a good job that you do legitimately feel sad, it's a really good sign.
Yeah. Oh man, the last 5 minutes of Hamilton, I'm just a mess.
Well, see, that one's good because it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
So that one does make me cry, usually.
And the last 5 minutes of Les Mis, really?
Yes.
Like, when they say to love another person is to see the face of God, I'm like, oh, well, goodbye.
Yep.
I've left my body.
You son of a gun. Wait, no, he's coming. It won't let me do another bait. He's still...
No?
No? Okay, no, dang it. Okay, alright. I like the Les Mis movie more than most people, I think. I think with the exception of Russell Crowe. And here's the thing. Russell Crowe has a couple of funny moments, as we've discussed.
Yeah. When he's looking at Valjean lifting the pillar.
Scary. I do not think Russell Crowe is god-awful. I think he's the weakest link of a very strong cast.
Yeah, which makes it far more apparent.
Yes. No, sir, I don't know about the Nintendo Gallery. I don't mind. I don't really need to.
Nobody needs to know.
But yeah, I think Russell Crowe is fine. He is very much the weakest link.
And I think when you've got like Les Mis and Javert in Les Mis, you're like, you can't sacrilege to be just okay.
Yes, that is true. Javert should be one of your strongest singers.
Yeah.
I think the movie's pretty good. But just you talking about the last 5 minutes made me remember, like, I appreciate Fantine comes back. I think the moment they have between Valjean and Fantine and the bishop is beautiful. But then they all just go over to the barricade, and it's like, why is Fantine
at the
barricade?
Also, Eponine comes back and sings to him. I'm like, you conversed once.
Yep. I don't think Valjean can remember your name.
I don't think he asked.
I don't think he knows it.
I'm shadowing the stage manager at Les Mis next Tuesday, so I'll keep an ear out for that.
That's so cool.
I'm shook. Also, when the dude emailed me back, he said like something about like blah, blah, at the barricades twice. It was really funny. So I emailed him. I'm like, hello, this is me. Can I come watch you? And he says, hi, Path. Hello from the barricades. Blah, blah, blah. Forwarded your email, blah, blah. Looking forward to seeing you at the barricades.
Oh, he's really all in on the barricades then.
You really are. I'm like, they're not there for the majority of the show.
They're also not there, like, triumphantly.
Yeah, the barricades are really sad.
And, like, it really hit. I had to read Les Mis in middle school.
Wow.
It was a bridge version,
okay.
but also, yes, it was, like, quite a lot. And, yeah, I remember being like, man, it's really just an abject failure, isn't it?
It really
like,
is.
They do not succeed at all.
Thing I also noticed, two more thoughts about Les Mis that I saw. Oh, shoot. Gary may not be able to do D&D tonight.
Oh, no. Everything alright?
Work stuff.
Gotcha. That sucks.
Oh yeah, at the very end, everyone comes back and they're like, hey, I'm excited, blah, blah. Like, I understand that he's the villain for most of the show, but Javert isn't there. And I'm like...
I felt the same. It makes it feel like he went to hell.
Yeah, exactly!
I don't like that. I really don't like that.
At the very end, like...
Yeah, that is not that is not exclusive to the production you're watching.
Okay.
I've noticed that in other productions, and I hate it.
Yeah, I was like, this seems...
Because the whole point is that he finds redemption at the end. He realizes what the right thing to do is, and it tears him apart, and that's why he commits suicide.
Yeah.
And that's awful and tragic.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that he shouldn't get to
he should go to
show
hell
up with the rest of the good guys.
Yeah. Like, the Thénardiers weren't there either. I'm like, okay, you're alive and also super evil all the way through. Man, I love how they're just kind of like kooky evil, and then Dog Eats Dog happened, and you're like, oh. You're very evil.
Yes. Yes.
The other thing I noticed was that, it's not something I noticed, it's just, Marius was so good. Like, normally, Marius and Cosette, I'm like, okay, whatever, you do your thing. But when he first shows up and starts singing A Heart Full of Love, his voice cracked like 3 times. He was like, a heart full of...
I watched a high school production of Les Mis that was very well done because they were very well funded. And by far the funniest moment of the night was completely unintentional.
Oh boy.
Well, for one thing, the Javert just looked like the younger brother of one of the friends, like one of the mutual friends of me and the person I saw it with.
Oh.
And so we were just laughing at him the entire time just because he looked like the person we knew.
Yeah.
Who was also kind of a scrub and he sang well, but he just reminded us of this just little kid who could never pull off Javert.
Yeah.
And so, do I have to get to there?
You have the means to destroy the barrier.
I figured. But alas, I am a stupid child. Is there room between the barricade? Is there a ledge?
Barricade. I don't think I think you're supposed to leap and leaf over there, and I don't think.
Oh, wait! It's made of wood.
Uh-huh.
Really asking me to use up a lot of my magic here, aren't they? If this isn't the answer, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, good. But yeah, and then the other thing was they had a rotating barricade in high school because they were very well funded. Or not just barricade, sorry. They had a rotating stage that worked for the entire show. And at one point, like, the guy from Marius, like, missed his cue, you could see him run from off stage to catch up with the rotating scenery so he could climb aboard and go, I did not live until today!
Oh, you poor boy!
Like, he sang it fine. It was just, you could tell it was so rushed because he missed his cue. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, man. My high school did Les Mis, which was a surprise. It was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yeah.
Far before I was there.
Alright.
Yeah, I was not involved. I was in the audience. But it was perfect because they basically did it because they were like, well, we have like 4 extraordinarily talented people. We've got our Valjean, we've got our Fantine, we've got our Eponine, and we have our Javert. Let's go. But the girl who played Fantine, her whole family is a performing arts family. So her little sister played Cosette.
Oh.
A little Cosette. It was adorable.
That's great.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, you can actually sing. And you're 6.
Have you thought about how the actress who plays Fantine could theoretically also play old Cosette or Eponine?
Yes. I was thinking that on the way. End of discussion. I was thinking that yesterday, and then I was like, well, how would you, like, you'd have to restage some stuff at the end, because when Fantine shows up, Cosette is there.
Right, but I was like, I wouldn't have thought of that until Hamilton, where, like, you get that moment where Jefferson sings about Lafayette, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Or when, during Hamilton's death soliloquy, he's like, I catch a glimpse of the other side, I see Lawrence, and then the guy who plays Lawrence just, like, spins around, it's like, and there's my son!
No, I'm out of bait!
Oh, no.
Dang it. Okay.
Did you not have the Forest Haven on your map? Oh, but Beetle's right there.
Where?
Right in front of you. You're sailing right at him.
Sure, okay.
I'm positive.
Alright.
You're at a major city. You're good. Boink.
What else about... I saw one production, I think it was a separate production. I saw one production where, like, I believe it was the same production. Okay, in the heist... Wait, no, it wasn't, because I remember being disappointed because it was a professional. I watched a professional rendition, and there was one point that did not go wrong, but, like, my anxiety was just, like, through the roof. It was while Gavroche was dying.
Oh, no.
And the way they had it, because Gavroche's final thing is getting the bullets, right?
Yeah.
So the way they had it is, like, in his very final moments, he throws the bag behind the barricade, and someone else has to catch it.
Oh, no.
And the actor who plays Gavroche doesn't look when he does it.
That's amazing!
And yeah, and it worked fine.
That was a little kid?
Yeah. And it worked fine. He did, like, he nailed it, and the guy caught it with it, like, really super easily.
That's amazing.
It was slightly awkward because it's the middle of Gavroche's, like, really sad death scene, and, like, as soon as the guy grabbed the bullets, he, like, just, like, scurried back behind the barricade. It was kind of silly.
And you're like, this child is dying.
Yeah. But I gotta run.
Oh, man, the way... Sorry, did you have something else?
Just, like, real quick. Enjolras dies, and the barricade rotates to show, I think it's when Javert shows up and, like, sings about how, like, oh, wow, the horrors of war, or something. I don't know. I know almost all of Javert's lines, but everything revolving Javert and the barricade, I just blank on.
I don't think he has lines. I think he just, like, especially since the movie came out, I think a lot of stagings have now been, like, he shows up and is sad about Gavroche.
Okay, alright.
He doesn't say anything, though.
Yeah, because those... Oh, yeah, I guess they did have an interaction. I was about to say, because those two characters had an important dynamic, but it's like, oh, no, they did have that really fun moment where Gavroche just rats him out. Which also reminds me, any production, I don't think if I've seen a production that has done this, but every production should have Gavroche in that scene where Javert shows up in Act 2 and breaks up. I forget what the context is, but Javert shows up is like, hey, y'all need to chill.
Oh, is it when, like, the Thénardiers are pulling a scam, and then they get Valjean, and they're like, wait,
Yes,
you're the one who
yes, it's that
borrowed?
one.
How is that?
Yes, it's exactly that one, and Javert shows up, and he's like, let them answer to Javert. And Gavroche, I don't remember the scene well enough to know if any productions do this. Gavroche should be in that scene because it explains how he knows that Javert's a cop. Anyways, Enjolras dies, and the barricade twists around when Javert shows up. And if you were looking closely, you can see the actor for Enjolras get up and walk down the barricade.
Dude.
And it was just, yeah, I remember seeing that. It's like, well, no, because I think the barricade spins back around and all the bodies are supposed to be gone. So, like, he has to get up. But it was rather lazily done. And I was like, okay, that just breaks all tension.
I was going to say, you're supposed to, like, by that point, everyone's holding their breath.
Yes, everyone's supposed to be super sad. And instead it's like, oh, the actor's all right.
I need to see if I can find a picture of the Enjolras from the production I just saw. Because his hair is...
Was it floopy? Tell me it was floopy.
It's beautiful flowing locks.
Oh.
Like an 1980s like blowout practically.
Like how long are we talking? Like Matt Mercer? Like
it's Mercer-esque.
Top? Okay.
Okay, I don't know what's happening in this picture, but this is basically the hair he has during the show.
Alright. He looks like Guy Pearce, but with Matt Mercer hair.
Oh my god. What a man.
I really need to use the restroom.
Alright. It was too much. God, that key change is so good. I'm so mad. Good news. Mia double-checked our pizza order to perfection at precisely 6:59 p.m.
I hope it was like 15 minutes ago. I was about to say I hope it's from like a really long time ago. Other thoughts on Les Mis. I remember reading the book, and they go into great length about the names of all the barricade people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, surely I'll have to remember all these people.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really.
Yeah.
They get more personality in the books, like you can tell them all apart. And in the musical, they do technically retain the names. But
I know Enjolras, I know Grant.
Those are the only two that matter.
I know Courfeyrac.
There's a Courfeyrac. And there's
Jolie.
There is a Jolie.
And that's it.
There's a Combeferre as well.
So there is.
Oh, it's the wrong way. Oh, wait, okay, which...
already got a treasure there, is what the circle means.
I know, but like I'm just looking at where else in my map I need to fill, and I'm torn.
Gotcha.
I'm slightly closer to this L block, so let's just go north. But yeah, in the musical, they all retain the names, but Grantaire and Enjolras are the only ones that matter.
Yeah.
And some productions of the musical do this. The movie really leaned into it. But, like, Grantaire has this really big moment of, like, I stand with you. Yeah. Except in the musical, that means almost nothing, because Grantaire is just drunk.
Yeah.
Whereas in the book, he's drunk, and the entire time he's like, I'm hanging out with you guys, but this barricade thing is stupid, and it's not going to work, and you're all, like, crazy. So that, when he makes the big gesture at the end, it's like, I stand with you, regardless of the fact that I know it's futile. And in the movie, it's just like, one of them's drunk, and at the very end, he gets to have the big buddy moment with Enjolras, and they both die.
And spawn 1,000 fanfics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they do a little moment during Drink With Me when he's like, your death means nothing at all, your life is just one more life. But then they zoom on from that super fast. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I think this is fairly common. He had more of a relationship with Gavroche than anyone else.
Yes, that is common.
Which is devastating.
Yes.
But, oh man, the way Gavroche died was so, I've seen this musical many times. Even I had a little hope spot, because like they don't actually do the turntable in this one because it's a touring production. And so like Gavroche just climbs over. You just hear him singing. You don't see anything.
Yeah,
and then you hear gunshots and there's
version.
a really long pause. And then he keeps singing and you see
Yep,
Bags
yep,
come over.
yep,
And you're
yep,
like,
yep.
yep. And then he climbs up and he's right at the top when they kill him and he like falls
gotta
into
do it.
Grantair's arm. Yeah. So even like after the first shots, I was like, oh, killed him. Oh no, he's alive. Maybe he'll. Oh, he didn't. He did not make it. And then they just left. I was like, props to that little kid, because they left his body on stage for a really long time.
Nice.
I was like, you're
That's
just
impressive.
laying very still. A lot of people are manhandling you about. Like, the barricade leaves, and so that they can still have the Enjolras draped backwards with the flag, they like wheel him around in a cart, and they dump Gavroche's body in the cart as well and take him off.
Oh.
And the guard picks him up, like, grabs his shirt and like slings him up. I'm like, this kid's been dead for 10 minutes, and now you're just like, yep, here we go. But yeah, that wasn't really. The body cart is when like Javert shows up and he's got a big old torch, which is fun. There were a lot of torches in this production. I was on board.
Nice.
And then he sees Gavroche and has like a moment, like crosses himself, and then lets the other guy sling his body in a cart.
Oh, here's an interesting tidbit that I actually am not bothered by. But you know how like Stars is all about like I'm a servant of God and I have to do what's right because it's what is written in the Bible.
Yeah.
Javert is an atheist in the book.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or at the very least, like he expresses, I don't know if it's literally atheism, but he's like, I don't really care about religion. Like that doesn't mean anything to me. I think it's literally written as my job is too important for me to care about things like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So he's just like super into the law?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, he still has the like very strong moral code of this is what's right and this is what's wrong, but it's more, it's more of like from a legal sense.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I really should read the book, but in gut response, I don't, like, prefer one to the other, which I think is a good sign, because I have seen the musical 1,000 times, so I'm like, well, of course he's religious, but I think him being atheist is really interesting.
Yeah, they're both really interesting interpretations.
Yeah.
And, like, as a man of faith, it's weird because, like, he's the villain, so, like, it's weird to say I'm happy that he's Christian, but also, like, he's a really cool character, so having a cool Christian, like, an interesting Christian character is always, like, well, actually, that's not a good example, because everyone in Hunchback is a Christian.
Oh,
well,
Frollo?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know how to word what I'm thinking. I think Frollo is a fascinating depiction of how religion can be used to justify horrible things, and I think it is important that that message gets delivered.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate, I think one of my favorite Disney songs, I don't know why I said I think, because we had a huge, like, everyone list your favorite Disney songs. You seem important. Have we been here?
Yes, you dumped that pearl in the...
Yeah. I don't remember the statue.
It was like an old crumbly statue, and then it exploded and shot a laser beam, and then you flew away.
Yeah, now I remember.
With that great description, how can you not?
Yeah.
Different triangle.
Dang it. Okay, to the east, I guess. God Help the Outcasts, I think ranked number 2 on my list.
Oh.
Because that song expresses exactly how I feel about what religion is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, like, Hunchback does an excellent job of showing a bunch of different, interesting, nuanced angles about not only religion in general, but Christianity specifically.
Yeah.
So that's why Hunchback is the best Disney movie.
Send tweet.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think, like, you could appreciate Javert as well, because most people in Les Mis are also Christian.
Yes.
And, like
Stars,
Valjean's whole story is incredibly beautiful, and it's incredibly religious.
Yes, and Stars is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And it's like, in that moment, you are like, I get you, Javert. Like,
yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Like, I see you,
yeah,
but...
I see you.
Yeah, this Valjean, I was not... I think it's to your right. want to say it's...
Is that a new thing?
I left.
Well, no, I don't think...
There's one in between, like slightly
But
to
what
the
is
left.
that thing?
I think that's Bird's Peak.
Oh, it is?
And I think that's the island here.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh, this Valjean did better as his character aged. Because when he was a youth, he was very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did a lot of big gestures,
Yeah.
and, as the audience can hear through the beanbag. And, like, this really weird thing with his voice where he would be like, say something really dramatically, but like weirdly high and nasally before settling back into the song. It's like, my life was a war that could never be won. I was like, just say the words. Sing them, please.
My dude.
Yeah, my man. But yeah, he settled down. His Bring Him Home was beautiful, which, good.
Yeah.
It's what you were cast to do.
Yeah, that's good, because that's usually, I feel like that's usually the reverse. I feel like most Valjeans can play young Valjean pretty well, and by the time they get old, like, the acting is still good and the singing is still good, but it's like, you're pretending to be an old person.
Yeah, this might be the pizza.
Alright.
Hello? Yeah, it does not, but it's okay. We can head on down and pick it up. Great, thank you.
Alright, we're just gonna call it quits here, because we have to go get pizza, if that's good with you, because, like, yeah, we gotta get D&D slightly set up, yeah. Alright, okay, I'll turn it off later, but yes, good night, everybody.
This has been the lamest podcast.